Hey everybody, hanging out with Casper over here, and if you guys notice, I'm wearing a different wetsuit today. It's kind of hard to see under the water, but you can see usually I wear a blue one, and today I have this dark one on. And so I've had quite a few people ask me before, if you wear a different wetsuit, will he attack you? And as you can see, no, he doesn't, okay? And I also have the camera on a selfie stick. Today I'm by myself, so sorry, it's gonna be really wobbly and whatnot, but you can actually see us there a little bit better. But yeah, so a lot of people do ask, if I wear something different, is he going to attack me or act differently? And if I wear like different hat or sunglasses or wetsuit, how's he gonna react, okay? And so as you can see right now, obviously he doesn't care. You guys have probably seen my videos, I do wear different hats sometimes too. And I usually wear the same wetsuit. Today we're in a different one. And then also a lot of people ask about the sunglasses. I get this all the time. People are like, oh, well, he doesn't attack because he sees a reflection in your sunglasses. That's not true whatsoever. I can put my glasses on him. Well, we've done this a few times. I've actually lost a few pairs of glasses onto him, but yeah, so that's not a thing. They don't see the reflection in your sunglasses or anything like that. That's absolutely not true. But back to the basis of what we're trying to get at here is, does he recognize me visually? And if I change my visual appearance, will he react the same? And so it depends on how much you make a difference, okay? So what I mean by that is, I've worked with alligators for my entire life, and I've worked with many different alligators in different scenarios and wearing different things, and it depends on how much you change it. Now, generally, whenever I'm working with any animal, I do like to try to always keep things the same the best I can. So no matter what kind of animal you're training, the more things that you can keep the same, the easier it's going to be to train. Just because the more variability in an equation, the more variability in the outcome. So if we can try to keep as many things the same as we can, then when there are changes, I can control the change and I can see the behavior difference and know, oh, he acted this way because I changed this part of the equation. So if you guys understand what I'm trying to say there, so just for simplicity, it is always best to try to keep things as the same as you can in as many different ways as you can, okay? Now, obviously, you can't control everything, so there's gonna be different things, but whatever. So when he acts differently, I can try to figure out like, oh, well, he did this because this changed or because that changed. So I do try to wear the same stuff every day is what I'm getting at. And if you see in all my videos, I do often wear the same clothes all the time, and I do the same kind of things every time, and that helps me understand what changes are going to happen and how to anticipate them and etc. Right? So as you can see, he doesn't care about the change in my wetsuit at all. And again, I've worn different hats and different sunglasses. He doesn't care about that either. Or not wearing a hat, or not wearing sunglasses, or not wearing a wetsuit at all. I've done a couple of videos with just swim shorts on, so I can do all these kind of changes. He doesn't seem to care. Now, this also varies by individual, okay? I've had some gators that I can wear whatever and they don't really seem to care. I've had some other alligators, and these alligators that do not like it when you change your appearance also do not like new people. So they do recognize you based on how you look visually. They can also recognize you based on your sound, what you sound like, auditory. I do not have any evidence to suggest that they can identify you based on your scent, though. People ask me that one a lot. Does he act differently based on your smell or anything like that? Or does he identify you based on smell? I have no evidence to support that at all. They do have an excellent sense of smell, but I don't have any evidence to suggest they use that in identification. And I have a lot of evidence to suggest that they identify me based just on how I look. Everybody's like, how do they tell? I'm like, because they got eyeballs. They look at you, okay? They can also recognize, how you sound and probably how you smell too. But again, I don't have any evidence for that. But anyways, so stories where I have had this happen. So I've been working with some other alligators. Again, he hasn't seemed to care at all, but I've worked with some other alligators where it was one time it was pouring rain, and so I ran in and put on a big old huge poncho, and then I ran in with the alligator, and once I was wearing that big poncho, he didn't recognize me. And that gator, who's super nice and calm and chill, spun right around and tried to kill me immediately. Because he didn't recognize me. He didn't know who I was, because I was wearing that poncho. And so that's a very clear change right there. I've had some where one time I tried on this giant goofy cowboy hat, and the gators got pretty weird. They were running away from me and hissing at me. So that's another instance right there. So it's kind of like, if you've ever worn a Halloween mask around your dog and they get crazy, start barking who are you? Same thing right there, dogs same way. I one time my friend came over with a motorcycle, and I tried on the motorcycle helmet, and the dog was going to kill me. So that's another instance of kind of what we're talking about right there. So they do recognize you visually like that. Again, auditory if you change the way you sound. So these are things, you know, that we can work on or work off of, you know, whenever we're working with these animals and trying to control the situation and make things safer. Now, I can also take kind of the, if you want to say the opposite of this, is when I've had to like capture an alligator I've worked with a lot. Like, let's say we got to take him to the vet. That's not a fun experience. We're going to have to tape him up, tape his jaws shut, and load him into a truck. That is not fun for him. That is very stressful for him. And he trusts me, you know, like you see right here, he's not defensive. Like, he knows I'm not going to hurt him, so he does trust me. And then you're kind of betraying that trust when you have to, you know, load him up and actually grab him and manhandle him and tape the jaws and headlock him and carry him out and throw him in a truck. Like, that's not fun for him. So you're like betraying him right there. And I've had to do that with several different alligators and crocodiles I've worked with. And so what I have learned to do is try to change my appearance. So like when I've gone to have to catch one now, I will wear like a really, something I've never worn, like a really weird colored long sleeve, like bright colored shirt and a face mask, or like a buff, you know, one of those like weird, like this kind of, you know, and stretch it out over and like cover up my face and just wear different sunglasses, a different hat. Again, try to change everything about my appearance and then go catch the alligator like that. I've done it with gators and crocs. That way, they're, you know, I'm trying to make it so they don't really recognize me the same way, and hopefully are not mad at me for betraying their trust right there. And so far, it seems like it's worked. Now, before I learned that, I have had to go and catch some up and move them, you know, for whatever reason or another. And I'm wearing the same stuff I always do. And then we bring him to the vet, whatever. And then I go to interact with him again, you know, like the next day. And he's like, no. And he runs away from me. And he's scared of me for like sometimes a couple of days, sometimes a couple of weeks before you can earn their trust back. And they're like, oh, okay, you're not going to grab me up again, you know? So you have to like earn that trust back because they're going to be afraid of you, you know? So that is an advantage to learning this whole thing right here and just being able to change your appearance when you have to move an animal like that. I also changed my voice when we had to move him before. You know, I'm wearing all this weird stuff, so I'm not recognized. I'm talking like this, you know, and like changing my voice. So hopefully he doesn't recognize me at all. And so far, it seems like it's worked. You know, we can kind of trick him. And that way we can move them safely and not have the animal hate you for it, you know? I mean, again, you can earn it back over time, but you guys get what I'm trying to say right there. So they will identify you through these different things. You can use that to trick them. Also, I guess that is evidence for them not identifying me through scent because they didn't know it was me, you know? Casper, come here. I'm gonna keep this video at least interesting though. I mean, I'm trying to convey all this stuff that I think is interesting for you to listen to, but I also want to keep, keep him in frame and keep it nice and interesting with him. Hi, buddy. And so we want to keep him on camera the whole time. There you go, big guy. There you go, buddy. Look at him chilling. Every time I do this, you'll see like in the beginning, he'll come over when I call him and he's like, oh yeah, you know. And then I just start talking and talking and talking. He's like, oh, we're doing this again. And he just leaves. He's like, you're not feeding me. You're going to talk for another 20 minutes and I'm not going to get any food. So you'll see he'll just kind of like wander away and be like, I'm done with this, you know. But yeah, so I think that covers just about everything I can think of on this topic. So if you have any questions regarding this topic, let me know in the comments. Hopefully this video came out pretty good. I'm using the selfie stick. You see I keep on switching my hands because, man, this thing gets kind of heavy like that. Yeah, so hopefully the video is not too shaky as I'm sitting here holding on to the selfie stick and whatnot. And hope it came out well for you guys. Again, let me know in the comments what you think, any other questions. And as always, you know, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And just in case you're wondering, right now, actually, he's kind of in an ambush position. He's got his head kind of underwater. His eyes are above. His nose is under, though. And he's got his mouth cracked open. So he really wants food right now. So, like, watch. If I... No. Oh, you're not going to do it? Oh, there you go. That was wimpy. I thought he was going to go a lot harder than that because the way he's postured right now, he's definitely thinking about it. But anyways, guys, I guess that didn't work out. But yeah, like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you guys next time.